Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be beginning of a 3-part mini series that I wanted to start for you guys. I tell you my process and some of my tips for basically getting into law school. The first part, which is today's video, is going to be all about preparing and taking the LSAT. The second part is going to be preparing your applications, and then the third part is going to be getting decision letters and deciding and, you know, considering what you want to do or what you don't want to do. There's a lot of things I learned that I wish I knew before because it would have made this easier, but you know, you live and you learn. And it is what it is, especially when you're a first-generation student. So before I move any further with this video, I just want to go ahead and thank everybody that has subscribed so far and continues to watch my videos. I appreciate you. If you're new, please go ahead and subscribe, like, share, and comment this video. I hope some of my content is something that you like. I'm gonna first take a sip of water. Delicious. Okay, everyone's different. Everyone is gonna have a different process, but there are steps. I'm gonna first and foremost put on my real life glasses. We're ready. So the first step that I took, and so should you, is you need to find your why. Why are you doing this? Why do you want to go through this process to get to this goal? What are you gonna do when you get to this goal? Why? What is your why? Whatever your why could be. Your why can be just wanting to better yourself. Your why can be you want to create change in the world. Your why can be your family. I know for me, my why is my mom and my family and helping them one day live a better life and helping my children one day live a better life. That's my why. On top of everything, I genuinely have a want to help people in the justice system, and I think the best way to make change, especially in these times that we're living in, is infiltrating the system. We need to get in there, whether it's through medicine, through law. We need to infiltrate the system if we not only want to see change, but we want to make change stay and make this world a better place for all of us to just simply coexist. That's all we ask, coexist with human decency. And if you can't do that, then I please ask you to leave my page. You don't have to watch my videos. My videos aren't for you. If you agree with me, then my videos are for you. So after you figure out your why, you go to the very first step in this very lengthy process that we all have to take, and that is LSAT prep. So for me, again, being a first generation, I didn't really know what you should do for your LSAT prep. It depends. I kept seeing that it depended on your study style, the way that you learn. It's very personal. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go with the most basic thing I ever saw out there, which was KAPLAN. So I joined KAPLAN, I took the course, I got a few study materials, and honestly the course was great. The course teaches you kind of the foundation, like the basic things that you need to build off of, because obviously this is a new style of testing that you're going to be seeing. So that's kind of like what they taught you, like how you should go about these questions, but not really you're going to understand why you need to go about these questions this way. You only understand it as you study. I did it while I was working full-time. I was in school full-time. And I was also, aside from doing the class, I was studying 15 hours a week on top of my 40-hour work week, and on top of, I don't even know how many hours I spent on school. It's possible. You just gotta know you want to do this, and you have to have a certain drive, and it is what it is. So as far as how early or how soon you should start prepping for the LSAT, I'm gonna say a minimum 3 months ahead. You need time to study. You need to first understand how to understand. That is literally the best way I could put it. This test is not testing you on anything you've ever learned before. I was just like, I was having shock to the brain. I performed so well in my undergrad. I have no issues with reading and understanding and comprehension and critical thinking. So why can't I do logic? Because it's not something that's taught to you. I kind of had to come to, the grips with that and understand that I just need to now learn this new method of thinking, and that takes time. You have to literally train your brain. Your brain is a muscle. So I recommend 3 months minimum and if you want more time to study, as much as you want. But you definitely have to think, you know, the time period that you want to complete this, because law school is 3 years minimum. You can't do less than 3 years usually, like it's unheard of. So take that into consideration. So for me, if I were to do this again, I wouldn't do Kaplan. I learned more through my self-studying sessions, where I just drilled things by myself, and I just went back, reviewed, try to understand why I got it wrong, and then understand how to get it right and how to go about it the right way. Some of the materials that came with Kaplan were, we had books and test books. We had a lot of online material, and we had access to literally every LSAT ever taken up to like that time. And you know, quick tip, go over, if you do have access to all the LSATs ever, go over all of them, older ones, because it is now a for sure thing that LSAT has continued to bring back old sections from older LSATs to these newer ones. I do know that we had 2 or 3 questions from LSAT 64, 62 or something like that. That was like a few years back, but still like pretty recent, like less than like 5 years ago, I think. So that was pretty cool. So always study like everything, try to drill literally every single LSAT test ever taken. It's literally the only way to secure that you have seen that before, in case you run into it. Basically, we got 3 of these type of booklets, which is basically a full LSAT. So this is prep test 76, as it says there, and it tells you that it, like, the year that this LSAT was taken was October 2015. So for example, they might pull a question from this one and put it in, I don't know, LSAT test, like the June test or March test or whatever of this year, and it's there, and it's 2020, so that's pretty cool. I did a full run through the LSAT timed with the break and everything, so I could get an idea of where I was. So this had a diagnostic, a midpoint, and a course final, and there you could kind of measure like, okay, where did I start? Where did I get? What did I learn from that? Where am I now? But I also drilled a lot from this book right here. She is hefty, she is not light, she contains a lot of information, and I definitely learned a lot from her. I recommend her. I'm planning on selling these materials because literally they were great to use to self-study. I was actually just holding on to them so I could, you know, show them to you in this video. So if anybody's interested, comment down below and let me know. If you follow me on social media, DM me. I am planning on selling them. I got them for, I think, everything I'm going to show you, and I am missing some stuff, but I know I have it. I just didn't get it now for this video. I just got a few things. I know in total I paid around $500 something for these materials and then the online materials. So because I paid for that, like, I think I'm only gonna sell this all together for like $150, because honestly a lot of the helpful things were online and I don't have access to that anymore. You need to like pay to get it, so I'm probably gonna sell everything for $150. We also had this other book, which is the LSAT Unlocked. This one held, I believe, newer versions of the LSAT that had dropped, or it was just another workbook with more things to drill, and it was really helpful. So after you have decided how you want to go ahead and go about your LSAT prep, and you have began your studying and you're on your schedule, I suggest that you start registering for an actual LSAT test date, because they go quick. Once they open availability for you to register, they go pretty quick, especially places that might be close to where you are. You should register with time. Usually when you decide to start studying and and start taking LSAT prep, you kind of have an idea of when you want to take the test, so you start a certain amount of months beforehand, and in that time you can figure out what location, what facility is going to be easier for you to get to and test at. Also start working on something very important that is going to take time. It's not going to come to you in a week. Sometimes it could take months, sometimes you might never get it, which is your letter of recommendations from whoever you're deciding to get them. I started getting them at this time, and mind you, this was months before I decided to take the LSAT, let alone apply to law school, because I knew it was going to take time. So get all your letter of recommendations together, Email your old professors, old supervisors, whoever you're getting to do those letters. Email them, contact them with enough time, and tell them what you need it for, because they need to be candid. It can't be like a regular recommendation letter where they're just like, this person is a great whatever, employer, student, you should hire them, or, you know, grant them admission, and that's it. No, they need to explain intimate information, as in like they know you personally, they've worked with you, and they literally know your character. So definitely focus on that and get those ahead of time, because if you miss deadlines because of letter recommendations, that's gonna kind of suck. Another thing you should be working on while you're also studying for the LSAT is getting your resume ready. Your resume is part of your application, so definitely update it if you haven't. If you're completing anything, keep in mind that you need to input that for your application. So you finally done it, you did all the studying, you're a week out from the test date. What do you do in that week? Do you go in even harder? Do you slow down? Do you not study at all? What do you do? Definitely want to maintain a steady studying stream, but don't overdo it, because there's no way that in 1 week, whatever you didn't learn in the last 3, 5, 6, 7, whatever months you took to study, if you didn't learn it in that time, you're not going to learn it in a week. So that's at that point you start to focus again on your strengths, because sometimes when you focus on your weaknesses, you kind of lose your strengths little by little. So you go back, and in that week you reinforce your strengths. You still have the strength from the weaknesses that you just studied a week prior, so you'll be fine. And the weekend before, it's definitely a weekend that you're not gonna do too much. You need to let your brain relax, so it is brand new the day of the test. I remember the Saturday I studied around like 5-6 hours that day. Sunday I just reviewed 1 or 2 drills, and I did that like earlier in the day, and after that I just relaxed. I watched Netflix, I spent some time with family and friends, and just took it easy. I made sure I had all my supplies for the next day for test day, so I wouldn't have to worry about it. And I went to sleep early, relaxed, cool, ready for the next day. I can't even describe to you the LSAT process. You just kind of have to go through it yourself. It's definitely very particular, but regardless of how you feel you do, you walk out of there feeling like, I did it. And you walk out feeling that way specifically when you know you put in months of hard work and you did something for you. At the end of the day, this was hard, but this is for you. It was very rewarding once you walk out those doors. You know you have I forgot how many weeks. I think it was 3 weeks until we got our results. I just said, you know what, from now on, I relax. I wait, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. I just made sure that when I was doing my studying, I was very intentional with my studying, and it was to hopefully get into my school of choices because of how hard I worked. That is one major takeaway that I could give you. With that being said, the next process would be receiving your score and your application process. In the next video, I'm gonna, go literally detail for detail, part by part of the application process, how much money you should be ready to spend and how much money you might not need to spend. I'm gonna break that down for you, give you some timelines of when you should be submitting. So stay tuned. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If this type of stuff doesn't interest you, that's okay. There's gonna be another video that will. So thank you so much for watching again. Remember to subscribe to my channel and share, as well as like and comment. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and you stay tuned for the next one where we discuss the application process. So I'll see you guys next week, and we'll talk soon.